Bonjour tout le monde, Madame Mayo here. So today we're going to be doing the vocabulary from chapter 3. It is called
Chapitre 3. Les télécommunications.
This chapter is about how we communicate with each other. You can see the people here on the telephones. This is a phone booth. Okay, we don't see very many of those anymore. This guy is on a cell phone. You can tell it's really old. Some of this vocabulary is dated. So you will see in the packet that I've attached to this assignment that I have many lists of much more updated vocabulary. But let's go through it anyway, just for pronunciation and to learn our basic words.
L'ordinateur.
So this is a computer, ordinateur. You can see the big screen here, the keyboard. This is what we call the tower. She's pushing the button. She's turning it on.
Un écran.
You know this word already. An écran is a screen. Please make sure you're writing down the English either on your vocabulary list from your packet or on a separate piece of paper. You always want to make sure that you have the English so that you can go back and you can look at what it means. And of course, you can watch this video as many times as you need to.
Un clavier.
This is the keyboard, the word for keyboard.
Un clavier. Un logiciel. Un software.
So this is software. We used to have to buy software. It would come in a big old box like this, and you'd get this like little disc like this, and that's really what contains the programs or the platforms to run the programs that you need. These days we download them all from the internet, so it's a little different now, but this is what we used to do. I used to have a bunch of boxes just like this. This just means software. It's the platform you need to run your programs.
Un ordinateur.
And there again is the word for computer. So you can always go back and rewatch this by yourself in your room, in front of your mirror, whatever, and practice your pronunciation. Let's go through them again.
L'ordinateur. Un écran. Un clavier. Un logiciel. Un software. Un ordinateur.
Okay.
Une disquette.
And this is a disc. This is a smaller one. They used to even be bigger than that. And of course, not many people use them anymore. Now we're going to look at some sentences.
La jeune fille allume l'ordinateur.
And let's break it down, okay? La, means the. Jeune fille, young girl, or here it's like the young lady. Allume. This is my verb, allume. It's an ER verb and it means to turn on. The young lady turns on the computer.
La jeune fille allume l'ordinateur. Elle met une disquette dans le lecteur.
Here's my verb mettre. If you remember, mettre, it means to put. She puts a disk into the hard drive. Le lecteur. This word right here is the hard drive, and that's what she's inserting this disk into. If you can see here with my cursor, I'm showing you. She's putting the diskette into the hard drive.
Une imprimante.
All right, it's hard to see in this picture, but this is a printer. An imprimante is a printer.
Une souris.
And in French, the word souris, it's just like in English, it means mouse, and it means mouse for the animal, and it also means mouse for the computer mouse, and here it is, you can see right here.
Elle utilise l'ordinateur pour faire ses devoirs.
All right, so here's my verb, utilise. It's also an ER verb, and it means to utilize or to use. So she uses the computer. I have my L apostrophe because ordinateur starts with an O. It's masculine, but because it starts with a vowel, I have to use the L apostrophe. Now I have pour faire. When we use the preposition pour, which means for, in front of an infinitive verb, like we have here, faire, it means in order to. So this whole thing here is a prepositional phrase. All right, pour faire ses devoirs, in order to do her homework. She uses the computer in order to do her homework.
Elle tape son texte. C'est donné.
Tap is an ER verb as well. Taper, like to tap on something, it means to type. So she types her text. Another word for that is donner, and you can see this is actually the past participle, the ER verb donner, to give, which basically just means data. So she's typing her text or her data.
Elle ne perd pas son texte.
This is an RE verb. Maybe you remember it, perdre. It means to lose. And you can see that we have a negation here. She doesn't lose her text, or she doesn't lose her data.
Elle le sauvegarde.
She saves it. This is the pronoun. So this le here, and I'm just going to highlight this for you really quickly so you can see it. This le is a pronoun, and it's taking the place of son texte. Okay? And what this means is she saves it. Sauvegarder is an ER verb, and it means to save. Okay?
Un CD-ROM.
So this is just another word for that thing you see they're putting it in the computer tower there. This is a CD-ROM. You can ask your parents. Maybe they still have some around the house. I know I do. I just for some reason can't get myself to get rid of them. We don't really use them that much anymore. At school, I have a bunch of them. They have my programs. Even this PowerPoint we're watching right now is on a CD-ROM. I have it on my computer now. But originally, it was just on a CD-ROM. And that is a disk that contains the programs that we use. So it's the same in English. A lot of technological words are the same in English and French. Anything that's a new word is going to be the same in English and French.
Elle retire la disquette.
Okay, retirer, another ER verb, so easy to conjugate. Retire, retire. It means to take out or remove. So she removes the disk. She removes the disk. Please make sure you're writing down the English. I know I'm going a little quickly. I'm sorry for that, but you can watch this again if you need to.
Ensuite, elle va sur Internet.
All right, here is what we call a sequence word. Ensuite. Do you remember this word? It means next. Next, and you can see it's set off by a comma. Punctuation is very important, my friends. Let me just point out we have a capital letter at the beginning of our sentence and a period at the end. We need to do that when we're writing, okay? Punctuation is very important. Next, she goes on the internet. This is the verb aller. Elle va, she goes. Sur is a preposition, it means on. And then internet, like I said, same word, English and French, because it's a new kind of a word.
Elle clique sur ses messages.
Clique is an ER verb as well, cliquer, and it just means to click. All right, so she clicks on her messages. She clicks on her messages. Elle clique sur ses messages.
Elle répond à quelques messages.
Remember this verb? It's répondre. It's an RE verb, and it means to answer, and it is always followed by a form of a. It is an indirect verb. She answers to, in parentheses, if you will, because we don't say that in English, but we do in French. She answers to some messages. She answers some messages.
Elle envoie quelques emails.
This verb, envoie, this is what we call a YER verb. It's envoyer, and it means to send. She sends some emails. She sends some emails.
Enfin, elle éteint son ordinateur.
Here's another sequence word set off by a comma. It means finally. Finally, she turns off her computer. This verb is an RE verb, and it's irregular. It's kind of a funny looking verb. It's éteindre, and it means, if you think of the word to extinguish, same thing, to turn off. Finally, she turns off her computer.
Le télécopieur. Le fax.
Now, I don't know if you guys have seen one of these before, okay? This is what we call a fax machine. And I'm just going to show you how this works. My husband still has one of these at work, if you can believe that. It's because he works internationally. So you see this wire here? Actually, I'm going to use a pen for this. This wire right here is connected through a phone line, and it goes through the phone line. What you do is you take your document, you put it face down on top of the fax machine. And then over here you have what really resembles a telephone. And it even has, don't think you can really see it, but this is actually the phone receiver right here that you can pick up. You can actually talk on it if you have to. So you push on the button. That's what une touche is. Une touche is a button. You dial the number in, and then you hit start. And when you do, this paper is going to go into the machine, and an image of it is going to be sent via phone line to wherever in the world you want to send it. Okay, so that's how that works. All right. Let's see if I can remember how to erase this now that I made that big mess. Here we go. Good, perfect. Voila. All right. And back to my pointer here. Okay. So, just to continue with our vocabulaire, une touche.
Une touche.
That's a button.
Un télécopieur. Un fax.
That's a fax machine.
Le jeune homme envoie un document par télécopieur. Fax.
Right. Now we have the young man. The young man sends a document, un document, par. Par is a preposition and it means by, by. By fax, by télécopieur or fax. The young man sends a document by fax.
Il met le document face écrite non visible.
He puts the document, okay, he puts, that's my verb, the document. And now let's just talk about this really quick. Face écrite non visible. What this means is written, this is a past participle for the verb écrire, written side, not visible. So what that means in English, to make it simple, is face down. Okay, he puts the document face down. That whole thing means face down. Face écrite non visible.
Il ne le met pas face écrite visible.
All right, this le, you see this le? This is the pronoun. And again, I have to do this every time I want to use a highlighter, I guess. Le is taking the place of le document. All right, that pronoun is taking the place of that noun. So he doesn't put it. He doesn't put it face up. So you have face écrite non visible, which means face down. And you have face écrite visible, which would be face up. And face up would mean that you could see the writing over here, but we don't see any writing. That's face down. Again, if that's tricky for you to understand, maybe ask your parents. They might be able to explain that for you a little bit better.
Il appuie sur la touche.
All right, and this is another YER verb. I'm going to attach the conjugations of these verbs for you to this assignment. Appuyer means to push or to press. So he presses on the button. See? Une touche. He presses on the button.
Une télécopie. Un fax.
So that's this actual document that we're talking about. So when you're on the receiving end, if somebody's sending you a fax, that's what this is, une télécopie.
Il transmet, envoie le document.
So here we have two verbs that mean basically here in this situation, in this context, they mean the same thing. Transmettre is conjugated just like mettre, all right, just like the verb to put, means to transmit. And then you have envoie, to send. So he transmits or sends the document. All right, let's practice. La secrétaire met une disquette dans le. The secretary puts a disc into the lecteur or télécopieur. Well, if you remembered that lecteur is the hard drive, you win the big prize. Okay. Je tape mes devoirs sur le. I type my homework on the. Do I use the logiciel, which is software, or do I use the clavier, which is keyboard? I'm going to use the clavier. Mon frère utilise. He uses something, and then here's that construction I talked about before, pour naviguer, in order to navigate dans son document. So my brother uses something in order to navigate in his document. It's kind of like what I'm doing right now with the mouse. See what I'm doing with the mouse? I'm showing you all the words. So does he use a button or does he use a mouse? Of course, he uses the mouse, just like I am. Le prof ne veut pas perdre. I have verb plus infinitive in a negative construction. The teacher doesn't want to lose les examens, the tests, qu'il tape, that he's typing. Il l'est. Now this l'est is a pronoun and it is taking the place of, it's referring back to les examens. So I'm going to have a verb here, which sometimes might look funny to you because you remember in French, the pronoun comes right before the main verb of the sentence. It's a different word order than we have in English. So the teacher doesn't want to lose the tests that he's typing. He sauvegarde or retire them. Well, if you remember, sauvegarde is save and retire is to remove. So if he doesn't want to lose them, he's going to save them. Il les sauvegarde. He saves them. Georgette finit ses leçons et va dormir. Georgette finishes her lessons and is going to sleep. Elle, son ordinateur. Allume, to turn on, or éteint, to turn off. Well, my main clue here is fini, the verb finish. She's finished, so she's going to turn off her computer. All right, we have one more. Quand on envoie un document par fax, when one sends a document by fax, il faut, remember il faut means it's necessary and it's followed by an infinitive. This le is a pronoun taking the place of un document, so it means it. Il faut le mettre, it's necessary to put it, face écrite. Which way do I put it when I'm sending it? Do I put it visible or non visible? Remember, I want to put it face down. So, il faut le mettre face écrite, non visible. Ok, mes amis, très bien fait. Please watch this video as many times as you need to. Go back, use it for practice for pronunciation. Make sure you've got the English written down. If not on your first page, your vocabulary list of your packet, then on a separate piece of paper. Merci, mes amis. Au revoir.